Yes, it is. Monique, can you hear me? Monique? Nope, she can't hear me yet. No headphones. Do you hear me?
Willie, you're back.
Hi. Can you hear me?
Hey. Yeah.
Okay.
Still waiting on Fletch.
No problem. Bell's going to ring here in about 2-3 minutes. I'm going to talk to them for about 2 or 3 minutes, and then I'll put my volume back up, and we'll be on.
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and mute it for now.
I'm going to mute me too. Sorry, guys, we're still waiting for Fletch to join us. I'm trying to get a hold of him. Ah, there you go.
All right. I'm just finishing my lunch real quick, so I'm going to put it on pause, but I'm here.
Okay, we got a class here. But
Oh.
you can finish your lunch. No, finish up.
All
I
right.
can wait.
All right. Hang on. I'll be right back.
Okay, I guess I just have to send, we're just waiting on a couple more teachers, so as soon as he gets back, then we'll start. Um, is he back yet? No?
All right. How y'all doing?
I think we're doing good. We've got one class on right now.
Okay.
I'm trying to get a hold of the others, but I think you could go ahead and start.
All right.
You guys ready?
How many of you guys were in the when I came out to the classroom there, or in the video production club?
Any of you guys?
Nobody was there? All right.
No.
This is good. We got a whole new group then. All right. Okay. So, where do I start? Let me see, by raise of hands, who's interested in becoming a filmmaker? Oh, hey, you're in the right class. That's a good sign. All right. So, we're going to talk a bit about today. Are you guys all registered on the website? Everybody? Nobody?
Yeah, I think they are. You guys are, yeah. 2 people?
Are you serious?
All are. No, he says all are.
All are. Okay. Yes, everybody is. Of course, this is Steven's class, isn't it?
Yeah.
You guys are all future Steven Spielbergs coming out of Steven's class. Okay, so let's talk a bit about today. You guys are familiar with the website, right? I would love to know, for starters, what is your favorite part of making movies? I'm going to ask you guys the questions. You guys.
Okay. Mr. New, you're going to have to put a mic on there because they're going to have to do something other than just stare at us.
Hey, the mic is live. Speak up, guys.
That's right.
Repeat the question.
What is your favorite part of making movies? Because that's the part we're going to talk about.
Uh, it looks like filming was one of their biggest things they mentioned.
Ah, okay. So you like a actual shooting, physical production, right? Do we have any writers in there? No writers in the class?
Oh, come on, Carlos, you got to be the writer, right? Yeah, we got two raising their hands on writers.
You need to have at least one writer if you're going to make something, right? Because who's writing this stuff? How many of you guys have made a movie already?
How many made movies? Raise your hand. A couple of them out there.
Okay, a couple of them. All right, you all want to be making movies, but you don't like writing, which you better change because that's where it all starts from. And you like okay, so it sounds like here's been my experience with making movies with young people. Okay, the actual physical production part, you guys are awesome at. I've never seen a kid who didn't understand a camera the second you put it in their hands. They just get it. It makes sense to them, right? And all of you guys are walking around with movie studios in your back pockets with the iPhone or whatever your Android or whatever you got, right? That camera that's on that little device is way better than anything I had your age. Like light years ahead of where I was. So you've already got the equipment to make a movie with. You've already got a lot that you need to make a movie with, right? So through the lot, sneak on the lot, you have access to sound effects and music and things that I never had access to growing up. So you've already got a way head start on anything that I ever had. Plus you've got a class, an actual class in your high school about making movies. You realize that's a pretty recent invention. That hasn't always been the case, right? There wasn't a filmmaking class 101 when I was in high school. And I ain't that old. Come on. Okay, so you've got classrooms. You've got teachers who want to help you, support you, and get you out there making movies. Trust me when I tell you that the writing of a movie, although you may not like to hear the sound of it, the writing is more important than going out and shooting it. And that might sound weird because, hey, you can't, no one can see a movie you haven't made. But I can read a script that hasn't been made before and tell you if it's a great story or not. I've got, the teachers, they've seen this before, but I've got 4 scripts sitting on my desk, right? Now, that's a script. I mean, that's not even fair. That's a little over 300 pages, right? A normal script, okay, a normal one is about 120 pages. That much paper. I'll get that closer so it looks really big. Okay? That's what you're going to have to write if you're going to write a feature film. You're also going to have to make that. And on average, we shoot between 2 to 6 pages a day, right? On a bigger film. On smaller TV stuff, you can shoot a little more than that. Now, you're going to have to learn how to write. You're going to have to learn how to like how to write because you're going to write a lot. Somebody's got to write these stories. No, you can't just run out with a camera and shoot. How many of you have just gone out and shot something with a camera and come back and edited it? Hands. None of you. Okay, there we go. That makes more sense. So a lot of you have grabbed a camera, gone out and shot something and brought it back and edited it. Did it work? Did it make sense? Did everybody love it? Okay, now out of those who actually wrote something, prepared and shoot it, and actually shot it and came back, was it easier to edit? Did it make more sense? Did audiences connect with it better? Now, unless you're just absolutely lucky, the obvious answer is that the second version of that is much better than the first. The odds on you grabbing a camera, going out and filming something and cutting it and making it genius are almost zero. You'd be really lucky to pull that off. And it wouldn't happen twice, I can tell you that much. Okay? So it's all about preparing. Knowing what to get, knowing how to get it. But you got to write it first. In order to prepare, let's say if you're going to make Star Wars, right? You're going to make Star Wars. How much time do you think went into prep for Star Wars? Just prep. I'm not talking about the writing. I'm not talking about the shooting. Just the pre-production. 6 months. 6 months of people drawing things and building things and crafting things. Everything from the wardrobe, the hairstyles, the sets, just the stupid devices that people pick up in the show, right? 6 months. And now I'm not talking about the new Star Wars. I'm talking about 30 years ago Star Wars. 40 years ago almost now, right? The new Star Wars was over a year in pre-production. This is how much time it takes to prepare to go out and shoot something, right? But before you can even do that, you got to write it. Somebody's got to write the screenplay. So I know you're in a class about film production, but trust me when I tell you, you're not going to make it out of here alive without writing something, right? Now, what have you written in the past? This is my point. What have you written in the past at school? What do you write?
I took the mute off. Go ahead. No, for video.
No, at all. I mean school in general. What do you typically write?
Somebody said poems.
Poems. That's good. Essays, book reports, right?
Research papers for the seniors.
Research papers. Gotcha.
A children's book. What class?
Oh, that's interesting.
Oh, an English children's book.
I like that one. Okay, I'm going to give you a new assignment. Do you mind, Steve, if I give your students an assignment?
Absolutely. Go ahead.
Here's my assignment to you. Okay? Everyone has interests. Every interest is different. People in general learn better when they are in the pursuit of their own desires. Am I wrong? Right? If I forced you to learn math, would you be all that interested if I made you write something about math? Probably not if you didn't like math. If you loved math, then maybe you would. But here's the trick, and this is the real get with film. Film, you can do anything you want. You want to make a documentary about math? Go ahead. You want to make something about Chopin? Go ahead. Go learn how to play the piano? Go ahead. You love playing the piano? Do something. Do something that does that. You love football? Go do that. So this is the beauty of film, okay? I want you all to write a 3-page. Now, it has to be in script format, right? We'll talk about that in a second. Just 3 pages. You can write 3 pages in about 10 minutes, right? 3 pages of a story. Tell a story in 3 pages about anything you want. Just tell me a story. Anything you want. It can be math, it can be science, it can be football, it can be cooking. I don't care what it is. Anything you're interested in. But I want to make sure that one thing, you have to be interested in it. I don't want you to make up something that you don't care about, because when you're making a movie, you're going to spend 2 years of your life making this movie. And to spend 2 years of your life doing anything that you don't absolutely love and are passionate about is a waste of time, okay? 3 pages, tell me a story in 3 pages about anything you want, but it has to be what you want. Don't just pick something. I want something you're passionate about. And tell me a story, okay? That's it. That's it. My bet is you're going to learn to like writing, because you're finally you're able to write about whatever you want to write about, right? Whatever it is. If you like action figures, tell me a story about action figures. If you like Legos, tell me a story about Legos, all right? I don't care, but I want you to write something, anything. It doesn't matter. You don't even have to shoot this. And here's the format you're going to do it in. You ready? See this? I've got 4 scripts on my desk. You're not going to spiral bound it. This screams amateur, right? You're not going to bind it. You're not going to put a cover on it like this, right? This sort of celluloid cover. You're not even going to put, none of the rules apply to screenwriting, by the way. So all the applied technology and understanding and format of nice documentation doesn't apply. This cover page with a different kind of page, amateur, don't do it. Now, again, I'm speaking strictly of screenplays, not, resumes or book reports. See this introduction? Nonsense. Don't need it. Throw it away. This person has written, I'm not kidding you. Here, I'll try and show you the format. That's a novel. The format is a novel. It's ridiculous. There's no dialogue. There's no characters. There's no description. It's a book. It's not a screenplay. It's a book. Well, I don't produce books, so I'm not a publisher. This guy, well, he's got the format right? You can see the characters and the scene descriptions and the dialogue, but he's got 4 different fonts. One for each type of thing. So characters have a certain font, and dialogue has a certain font, and amateur, not going to read it, throw it away. Simply because it's not in the right format. This guy did it right. It's about the right length. It's a little long. 118 pages. That's okay. He should have 3-hole punched it, right? Punk, punk, punk. And then put some, and teachers, you should get some of these if your kids start writing lots of screenplays, but little brass brads. 2, not 3, just 2, okay? Title page. All the text should be Courier 12 point, right? 12 point. Now, that one I'll read. Actually, I have read it. It's pretty good. Okay. 3 pages. 3 pages. No more, no less. 3 pages, tell me a story, right? I'm going to go through a website that you guys are all on, so you have access to all of this stuff. I'm going to go over it really quick, just to make sure that you all have it, right? You've all seen this website now. I'm going to log in. Now, if you've been here before, you know most of these tools. If you have any questions, let me know, and we'll go over some of these tools. But one of these tools is the script library. Okay? You're going to download, find a movie you like. I don't care which one. Just find one you like. Here's Top Gun, for instance, if you like that movie. Okay? We're going to download the script, and we're going to take a look at it. Top Gun. Where are you? Top Gun PDF. Okay. Let's see. I gotta find the window. All right. Let's see if I can. Here we go. All right. So here's the Top Gun PDF. I'm going to go over a couple of things really quick so you understand script format. Okay. Okay. Scene 1. They've even numbered it for you. Scene 1. EXT stands for exterior, right? Exterior night. The Pacific is anything but. Okay. All they're saying is, this is the location where we're shooting. This is the time of day, so I can get it in my head. This is all caps, right? All caps. It's called a scene heading. At the beginning of each scene, you'll see the same thing. Tomcat flies over the ramp. Omitted. That just means they deleted the scene. Air ops. These are all exterior, twilight, last gleaming, Ariel, okay? You can scroll through any one of these, and when you get to the end of a scene, let's find a real scene. 42A, omitted. This is the actual shooting script, just so you know. Okay, this will work. So this is the type of bar. This isn't the greatest script, though. These are terrible scene headings. Okay, so 45, interior. This is the bar, the XO bar for the officers, right? Loud music, low ceiling, plaques of the squadrons line the walls. Oh, a dancer gyrates on the stage. That's not good. Largely ignored by pilots talking with their hands, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so these are scene descriptions, right? This is action. So these are all action lines. And they come in beats. So this action happens. This is a scene heading. These are action lines. These are also scene descriptions. So the beginning of the very first scene, you'll have a scene description that talks, that sort of sets the stage for what's about to happen, right? Then action lines. This is what's happening in the scene. And then you'll have pilots. That's the person's name. It's all caps. A7 pilot. Hey, you know the fighter pilot's motto, right? It's better to be dead than look bad. Okay, so all of this stuff, and they're all going to be the same. Every set, every scene. This isn't even really, whoever formatted this scene is, this should be centered, not justified left. I wonder if we can find a better one. Let's try and find a better one. I think I can find a better one. Hang tight. Hang tight.
And while he's looking, oh, I see you have, Steve says his students use Just Write It, the Just Write It software. And if you guys have any questions, just type them on the side.
Sure.
While he's looking for that, I just thought I'd butt in. There you go. Make sure to go over the library with them because copyright's a big issue in our district.
Oh, yeah. It's a big one. Ah. Oh, this is much better. Okay. I don't know if you've seen this film, but it's called Prince of Thieves, right? This is old Robin Hood with, oh, what's his name? Kevin Costner, if you've seen that one. Okay. Usually they're not, the titles aren't like that. Right? This is the title sheet, title page. Story by, screenplay by, very standard. At the bottom, you have the entertainment company that owns the rights to the script. So this is Warner Brothers. Right? First draft, this is a first draft of the script, so it's not a shooting script, which is interesting, because usually they won't publish a first draft, but there it is. Now, fade in, sunset. The glowing orbs rippled like blood red eyes. Black-robed figure. Okay, these are all scene descriptions and action lines. Here's your first scene. This is just sort of setting the scene. So your first scene is this right here. Exterior 12th century Arab city establishing shot. Usually I guess you could put establishing shot. That's not typical, but interior dungeon, sunset. Pervasive blackness, moans of men in pain, dripping water, rats, filth. Gotcha? See how it works? Bedraggled white men, POWs from the Crusades, caged together with Arab cutthroats. Jailers wrenched two crusaders from the cell. Robin of Locksley. So this is the first time you ever introduce a character. You always capitalize every single time you introduce a character. You do that so that as I'm looking through a 120-page script, I know that this is the first time this character has been introduced because he's capped, and everywhere else he's not. All right? It makes life a lot easier when you're going through it. There's a reason. Cut to the next scene. Interior torture chamber, sunset. A furnace, torture instruments glow red hot, chain victims, a massive... You see there's not a lot of scene description. You're not describing every last little step. What's really important is this stuff. Okay? That's the person's name, all capped, always when you're indicating who's going to say something. And this is their dialogue. He says, "You stole his bread." Peter, "It's a lie. I caught him stealing ours." The Lilith jabbers some more. The interrogator debates. Interrogator, "Cut off the infidel's hand." The jailers haul Peter to the chopping block. If the scene is continued, they'll add that too. Continued. If it continues on to the next page. "No, I took the bread," Robin says. Peter, "That's not true. Do you see what's happening? You don't have to describe how the characters move, how they act, what they're doing. It doesn't matter. The actors, you can decide that on the set. This is the writer's job. The writer's job is to tell the audience what these actors are saying, right? That's how it works. In 3 pages, you can tell me a lot of story. Here's 1, here's 2, and here's 3. So by the time 3 gets there, they've cut off this guy's hand. They're going to cut off Robin of Locksley's hand, except he pulls the jailer forward. They chop off the jailer's hand. He gets out of the chains, and they escape. Right? That's 3 pages. He runs through the man through. Peter loses his sword. His opponent moves in for the kill. Peter grabs tongs from the fire and smolders his opponent with a backhand. Commotion outside. Raised voices. Running feet. These are indicators to sound. Right? Those are sound effects that they'll have to add later. "Free me and I will show you a way out." It's actually a fun film. That's 3 pages. That's the right format. That's the right text. That's the right everything. I mean, you can feel how it moves, right? 3 pages of something, anything. Just write something that you're interested about. Right? Right. Everyone nod. Everyone who's asleep. Everyone who's not asleep, nod. No, I'm kidding. All right. Okay, so you guys are using Just Write It. That's great. It should handle all the stuff that you needed to do there. So that is the start, my friend. That's how you make movies. Somebody's got to come up with this idea. Do you guys all like the Star Wars movie? Yes? No? Everybody like Star Wars? The new Star Wars? You guys saw it, right? Like everybody in the world saw this movie? Okay, so you saw the new Star Wars movie. If you liked it, I mean, that took probably a good maybe 8-9 months to write for the first draft, right? And they probably went through a dozen rewrites to get it right, at least. Right. It's about writing. I've never once seen a good film be made from a screenplay that was terrible. Ever. Doesn't happen. Okay? Absolutely doesn't happen. So, and Kelly's students all use Final Draft, which is great. Final Draft is very much the industry standard still today. Yeah, if you know how to use Final Draft, you're using the tool that probably 90% of all professional screenwriters are using. So you're on the right track. Let's see. So you use the site. How many of you have made movies before? I don't remember. I can only see Steve's class. So you guys make movies? I'm watching your class. No one's raising their hands. A couple of hands go up. All right. So how early is this in your class? Are you guys just barely getting started? No. So you've been going a while.
These are first-year students in video in my class.
All right. Interesting. First-year students. So by the end of the first year, what will they have accomplished?
Come on, Mr. New.
I had to get the microphone off again. Yeah, after the first year, they've made a number of films. We're dealing a lot more in the broadcast journalism side of things. So news, feature stories, commercials, PSAs, interviews. They wouldn't know what that is. They're calling out some of the other things we have that we do specifically for. We do storytelling for the sake of the yearbook. There's like a format we've developed for that. But a number of those kind of stories that they'll do, and we did start out going over and writing just short film ideas using the 3-act structure that we are bringing back in when they're kind of developing commercials and VSAs.
Right. Okay. That's some people that comes very naturally to that 3-act structure. Some it doesn't. Some they have to really work at it. All right. So let me give you a little bit of backstory on who I am, because you guys are just sitting here listening to me for the last 20, 30 minutes, going, "Who is this joker who's telling us to write stuff that we don't want to write or whatever?" So I got my start in the movie business probably about the same time you guys are right now. I didn't have a broadcasting class. We didn't have any kind of equipment. But I was an artist. And so when I was 16, I got a job as a layout artist for cartoons on television. And that's what I did all through high school. So my friends were all flipping burgers or playing sports or whatever, and I was making cartoons on television. So I did that until my senior year, until Disney came calling. So Disney was gearing up to get their animation department moving again after a big failure of a film called The Black Cauldron, and they hadn't done an animated movie for a long time after that. And they came and they bought up our little animation studio, and they hired or offered everybody jobs to do a little picture called The Little Mermaid. I turned that picture down and got into live-action film, which is where I always wanted to be anyway, because animation is a sweatshop, and I didn't want to do animation anymore. So I became a storyboard artist on live-action movies, and I did storyboards for lots of movies. My first studio picture was called The Sandlot, about a bunch of kids who lose a baseball over a fence where a dog lives, right? How many of you have seen Sandlot? Oh, wow. Okay. Wow, you're familiar with it. So I did that film as a storyboard artist, and then sort of moved into doing more studio pictures. Like after that, I went almost straight into a film called Con Air, and then we did Dumb and Dumber, if you've seen that one, and a whole host of other pictures. And over the course of my career as a storyboard artist, I think I did something like 89 movies or something like that. So I did that for a long time, and then I partnered with two people. One is my directing partner, my producing directing partner, Chet Thomas, who you'll hear from tomorrow. And the other one is a gentleman by the name of Jerry Mullen. Jerry was the producer of Schindler's List, Jurassic Park 1 and 2, Hook, Rain Man, Tootsie, Days of Thunder, Minority Report, you name it. He's a legend in the film world. And so we were lucky enough to do that. And of recent years, we started our own company, and we started producing our own films. So we're just getting ready to release our first picture. It's called The Abolitionists. It'll be in theaters on May 16th, all around the country. So, hey, if you get a chance to see it, you should go see it. So for the last 2 years, two and a half years, we've been traveling all over the world. We've been in 18 different countries, millions of miles traveled. And it sounds terrible, but we've been rescuing children from child sex slavery and from human trafficking. So we rescue the children, and we put the bad guys in jail for the rest of their lives. And that's what I've been doing for the last 2 years, and that's what our film was about. So are you guys interested in watching a trailer? Yes? No? Maybe so? Let's see what the film is? All right, we'll show you. See if I can find it first. Hang on. Almost there. It's in the downloads. Nope. Hang on. Closing in on it, maybe. Where is it? Hang on. It's somewhere around here. Downloads. Is that it? That seems new. Yeah, that's old. Sorry. Throw that away. Hang on. Is this it? Okay, here it is. All right. So here is the trailer of our new film that will be coming out May 16th.
So she's 14.
Yes.
Here's the thing, does she do everything?
If she wants more money, she better ask.
And she's 14 for sure. You're the man. People travel all over the world to engage in sexual children. They're this age, and they're this age being forced into sexual exploitation.
There were girls, the youngest of which was 10 years old. She was actually 6 months pregnant.
These babies are having babies. Even the ones that are saying, yeah, I'm 18, and I've got a 7-year-old and a 4-year-old.
The demand side is what drives it. People want to buy that.
If me and my team don't find these kids and go for these kids, no one is going to. It's our job. We have to do something. When we're a foreign government, we work with the foreign government. We pretend to be one of those traveling people on a sex tour. We're going to go after these bad guys. Anywhere they are, we're going to find them. We're going to root them out. We're going to pull these kids up. The typical thing is to do like the bad guys do. They sell kids. They sell kids for sex.
I knew that night that the rest of my life would be spent rescuing and saving these little girls.
Our best weapon is our stealthiness and our ability to really just trick the bad guy. Good people don't know how vast this problem is.
All right. So that's our next picture that's coming out. We've got a whole bunch of other pictures coming out after that. One of the things I wanted to show you today. How much time do we have, Monique? Is she gone? She must have stepped out.
Where's Paul Hutchinson's office?
Oh, jeez.
I'm here. My cable fell out of the computer, so I was under the desk. How much time do you guys have? Put it in the chat section. Do you
What's
guys
that?
know?
I'm sorry.
I said my cable fell out, so I was under the desk trying to rehook it up.
You were down there sleeping. I know what's going on.
No. Okay, they're there until 1:25. It says for Steve. So yeah, start walking through the site and look at the resources and the game if you could get to it.
Awesome. That's exactly what we'll do. I don't know where is it. I mean, I know where it's at, and I just can't get like.
Well, could I find the address somewhere? Can I call like Erin? Would she tell me?
I'm not sure Erin would have it, but maybe she would. Chatwood might have it.
I called Chet.
No, he doesn't have it. Okay.
He didn't answer.
Sorry, guys. Yeah, try Erin. You can try someone over there, right? I mean, that's. Okay, let's see. What have I got? The site. Let's get it up here. Boop. Boop. Here we go. Okay. So once you've logged in, you should see like a carousel like that, right? And all of these are different tools that you can use while making your movie. So you can also get to it by just clicking on the drop-down menu. So I'll use the menu just for ease. these are the different curricula. There's 4 different curricula to use in your in the filmmaking process. There's public service announcements, which is that's the easiest one. If you're getting started and you've never done this before, I really suggest you use the PSA curriculum. It's very short, simple to use. This has the least amount of assignments to get you through to a completed film. It's not going to make your film amazing. It just gets you through the process and get your feet in the water so that you understand what it takes to make a movie. Right? You're going to go through the development of a film, where you're going to write. I know you love that. That's your favorite part. You're going to write a screenplay. You're going to do storyboards, and you're going to pitch your client. In other words, when you're doing a PSA, you don't do it for yourself. You're always doing it for the client. Like, let me see if I can show you one of mine that I've done. They're linked in here. Where are they linked in here? Let's see. Down here we go. Oh, those are just scripts. Here's they are. Okay. We'll do a different one. We watched the last one. We'll watch this one for this class.
Wind blowing on my face, sidewalk flying beneath my back. A 5-year-old's first taste of what freedom's really like. You can let go now, Daddy. You can let go. Your little girl is ready to do this on my own. It's gonna be a little bit scary, but I want you to know I'll be okay now, Daddy.
Everlasting love. Pass it on.
You can let go.
A message from the Foundation for a Better Life.
All right. So that's a PSA, right? So that was one that we did quite a while ago, actually. But any one of these, we did all these. I've done all these for like 20 years for this company. So you have to pitch these. You have to come up with an idea. You storyboard it out, and then you pitch the client. We usually write about 30 or 40 of these to find 10 that we end up producing. And we'll usually produce all 10 within about a 2-week period of time. We shoot them all at the same time, one after the next, sometimes 2 a day, and then you spend the rest of the year cutting them together and getting them just perfect. So you're going to go through the development process. You're going to go through pre-production, where you hire a crew and a director of photography and editors. And then you're going to schedule the show. You're going to put a shooting schedule together and have production meetings and figure out what equipment you're going to need in order to capture the director's vision. After that, you're going to put your production. You're finally going to go into production, right? After all that, you're finally going to go shoot something. I know you guys love to grab a camera and just get out there and start shooting, but I promise you, the student who goes out there prepared is always going to come back and beat you if you just run out and shoot stuff that isn't developed. So you can't shoot anything until you learn about cinematography, angles, movement, and composition. So we talk a bit about the language of cinema, how to record the on-set sound and lights and cameras, and finally, this is how you put a show together, right? You block the scene, you light the scene, you rehearse the scene, and then you shoot the scene. And you do it over and over and over. And you just read all through this and just do what it tells you to do, and I promise you, your movies will be light years from where they are today. And then you're going to go through post-production and the editing process, cut all your stuff together, add music, sound effects, and finally distribute your film. Distribute it on YouTube or Vimeo. Share it with the world and see if people like it. See if it connects with people. See if it changes their lives. I mean, the power of cinema is pretty intense. I know that when I sat down and watched Schindler's List, I was not the same person when I finished watching it that I was when I started. Okay, moving on. So to help you in this process, we've put together some stock footage, about 4,500 pieces of stock footage, so that you guys don't have to go shoot every little thing yourself. Let's pull together some footage and allow you to just download it and use it in your films. So here is, for instance, slow motion surfer. And all you do is you click download. It would download the shot, and it would give you a report. It'd give you a license agreement that you could then stick in your folder, and you're going to need those license agreements if you ever plan on doing anything with your film. If you plan on going to a film festival, no matter how big or small, they're going to want to know that you own the rights to all the footage. Well, print those out. It will set it up for you. All you have to do is click print, and you're done. What a great establishing shot. Check that out. Right? I can show this to start with, and then cut to any beach. I can be out at the what's the lake near you guys? Lake Mead? Is it Mead near you guys? Maybe it's not.
Yes, it's Lake Mead.
Ah, see, I can go from this and then cut to you guys standing on the beach at Lake Mead with no water, but I've convinced the audience that you're standing at the edge of the ocean in a sunset. And you weren't. You were just standing on some sand in the middle of nowhere, right? You don't even have to be at a lake, for heaven's sakes. Okay, so that's how the stock footage works. And there's tons of it. Like just person, place, thing, you know. There's tons of this stock footage. It's really good stuff. And it's free to use, so use it. All right, so music. One of the things that we noticed early on is that students like to rip the latest artist off and use their music in their films. Well, it's illegal. And even though you're young, your school is liable for it. And let me tell you, schools don't like being liable for their students' dumb behavior. So we put together, it's almost 60,000 tracks, 30,000 albums about that you can come in and just download and watch, or listen rather, and it's really good stuff. So let me see, you can sort them by genre. You can see how many genres there are. There's a lot of song genres. Or you can just sort of surf through them. These are all the albums. Let me see if I can find something good. And this music is surprisingly good. And they have all sorts of things. If you're into broadcasting, they have broadcasting leaders and stuff like that that you can drop into your broadcasting shows. Most of these are for. I always like these ones. Okay, so this allows you the kind of quality. Now, each of these songs would typically cost you between $200 and $2,000 per needle drop, which means anytime you ever use it in your film, if you use it twice for 2 seconds, it's $4,000. Okay, but we've got all these for you for nothing. So all you do is you listen to the song. And you might decide, yeah, that's not the one for me. Let's try a different one. Maybe. Alright, that one sounds pretty good. Yeah, that fits my action that I want, and I'm going to drop it into. So you download the song to the desktop or wherever you want, and it automatically prints off for you a music agreement, right? Puts the name of the track, the name of the show, or the name of the song, downloaded by this person, and then it puts your school information in there, and it's awesome. And then you just print it out. You just press print, and you're done. Trust me, if you ever plan on doing anything with your film, you're gonna need this paperwork, and we provide it for you really easy, but you got to print it off. Okay? That's the music. You take the file, you drop it in your show, you're off and running. Let's go to sound effects. Sorry. Sound effects work very similar. So you can actually do a search, or you can come down here and just kind of say, well, I want, let's say, underwater effects. What is that? Okay, bubbles. All right. So look at all the bubbles we have. Bubbles rising, bubbles underwater, thick water smudge. Air bubbles underwater. Let's try that one. So now we're going to listen for air bubbles underwater. It might be pretty quiet. Can you guys even hear that? All right, so if I was doing maybe a scuba diving, the abyss or something. Okay, here's another one. Fish tank? Okay, I guess. Heavy underwater. Oh, see, here's better. Oh, it was really short. Just one of them. Okay, so you download that, you drop it in your movie, right? That's how the sound effects work. I'm going to skip just right for right now. Interviews. Again, the best way to learn is by talking to professionals. And so what we did is we pulled together a few professionals for you to listen to. Here's Erin Upson. Now this is a gal who, she's awesome. I love this gal. She is, if you know who Ridley Scott is, she's Ridley Scott's content gal. So she finds new properties for Ridley. And at the time, Tony, his brother, was alive. He's since committed suicide. So, but at the time, they have a company called Scott Free Films.
So basically, my job entails a lot of different stuff, but the first thing to do is to find material, and that is looking for stuff for Ridley or Tony to direct, and looking for stuff for us to produce, which is probably like 40% for Ridley and Tony to direct, and probably 60% of the stuff we do is for them to produce, and we get tons of material. So it's reading scripts, reading books, looking for articles. It can be anything, any sort of, sometimes it's a TV show or personal stories, like a person will come in with their own personal story. And
right? Now, you have access to all sorts of people. Here's a cinematographer if you're interested in becoming a cinematographer. What's it like working with young directors? Now, this guy is a two-time Oscar winner for cinematography.
I work with Steven a lot, and he's extremely sophisticated in terms of visual storytelling. But very often, cinematographer may work with a younger director, and director, he may have strong feelings about what this movie looks like or it should look like, but you hire a cinematographer who's got expertise and who's capable of telling the story through visual language, and I think you should rely on his ability and suggest certain things, but not question. You can suggest certain things, but not question the cinematographer's way of doing things, because he's the one that's qualified to do it. And we have the sophistication of visual language that very often the young directors are not capable to understand. So it leads me to another statement. Occasionally you get really, really, really talented young director, but very often it takes a long time for the director to become really good at what they do, because it's such a tough process.
Okay, so there's an hour with each one of these people, and these are some of the very, very best and brightest in the industry. Most of you don't know them because they're like production designers, like Alex McDowell, who was the production designer for Fight Club and Minority Report and Cat in the Hat and Alice in Wonderland, things like that, right? You have Anna Marie Quintana, who's a script supervisor. She's amazing. She's brilliant. She's done everything. I mean, you name it. If it's big, she's been the script supervisor. And so these people in your classroom, in your homes, can teach you so much, and there's an hour with each one of them. That's over 30 hours worth of just great tutelage, right? And we've got more coming, actually. Okay, so then we have tutorials. In the tutorials, there's over, I think there's over 100 now, of just tutorials on how to do certain things, introduction to lighting, evaluating the genre, developing a storyline, you name it, and it's in here. If you want to learn how to light green screen, if you want to learn how to do three-point lighting, all of it's in here. It's awesome. What a great resource, right? We'll walk you all the way, and all of these are connected into the curriculum. So as you go through the different curriculum, these items are already plugged in right where they need to be. So after you're done, you finish your film, select a genre, whatever it is, all of your fellow students will be in this list right here. Tell us who is the writer, producer, director, cinematography, sound, and editor, and upload it so that we can see it, whoops, in the theater, right? So we can watch it in the theater, and everybody can tell you how good it is or how bad it is or whatever, and get some feedback from your peers. That's what that's all about. Now, one of the things I want to show you is where Sneak on the Lot is going, right? So I'm going to show that to you right now. I got to set it up though. Let me see. All right, here we go. So we've been working on something that's kind of fun for a while now. And oh, that's right. How did I do this? Oh, I had to share my desktop tonight. Okay. All right. All right, you can see this, right? Everybody see this? I can't hear. Everybody see this?
Sorry, yeah, we can see it.
Perfect. Okay. I can't see the screen anymore except for the
Oh,
girl.
okay. I'll keep my mic open
Okay.
then.
So what we've done is we've built online a massive multiplayer online game wherein you are a player. You're a new young filmmaker who's ready to make their mark on the world, right, at Fletcher Entertainment. And so you sneak on the lot. I'm going to sneak over here, right past the guard. And now I'm on the movie lot, right? I'm on the studio lot. You can pick up these stars, which is like we call them prestige. Let me show you my tags. There they are. They're prestige, and you're running around picking up prestige. And you can rent these little movie posters right here, and put your movie poster right on the wall, so that everybody can watch your film right from here, and you're using your prestige to do that, right? Now, in and around this area, there's all sorts of things you can do, right? So there's buildings. I showed you some of the other areas of the website, but here you have the same thing. You've got tutorials, right? You've got interviews. You've got stock footage. You have, this is a new one, the film challenges. This is where we put out like our own film festival that takes place like whenever we want, every week, every month, every day, and people try and challenge each other to make the best Star Wars movie, make the best romance film, make the best whatever. What you won't find is make the best skateboard wreck. That kind of nonsense will not be here. So here's your sound effects. Here's music. Whoops. Back it up. Music. Right? All that same kind of stuff. And you can actually go inside of these buildings as well. So in this building, so there's Alfred Hitchcock, Buster Keaton, some greats, legendary, David Lean. Whoops, I'm maybe too close to that one. David Lean. Ooh, he was a great one. You guys have probably all recognized this one, right? There you go. All right. So, as you can see, this is actually the story department, and it's actually modeled after the story department at DreamWorks. Oops. What's going on? All right. Whoa. Something's going on with my mouse. Weird. Let me see if I can. It's working again. Sorry about that. Something got stuck. And there we go. Okay, we get back to where I was. One of the funnest things about, I don't know why, but on a lot, and students love this part, is you can actually get in these carts. And it becomes a really fun sort of... I'll try this at home. Oops. All right. I'm running out of juice. I need to get a battery. There we go. All right. So on the lot, you can race around. You can get golf carts. You can upgrade your golf carts. You can do all sorts of things. Woo! Oh, I damaged my golf cart. Oh, sorry. It gets fun after a while. Sorry. So you can get like rockets and all sorts of nonsense for your cart. And basically, the idea behind the lot is to provide a fun and entertaining environment in which you can make movies make movies with your friends, and also make movies with people who... My cart is really jacked up. I'll bust it out. Okay, so let me jump out of that. So the idea is that you can work with all your friends and other people in the process of making movies, and through that, actually, not share this anymore. How do I get to share stuff? Hang on. All right. The idea is to bring all these people together so you can actually make movies with someone who actually did like writing, maybe from Minnesota or Nebraska or maybe even from Europe somewhere, right? So you can actually make movies with people who aren't necessarily in your classroom by doing this. And we're working on a mobile app that's coming out probably next year. And in that mobile app, you'll actually do your assignments. It won't be paperwork. It won't be check this box. It won't even be read this document. It'll be show me how you did it on your phone. Film how you did this or that and upload it. And that's how you finish the assignment, right? It's a lot easier. It's a lot more fun and engaging and interesting. And you get to share those fun things that you do with your friends, because it'll all be social media based. All right, so that's kind of what we're working on. That's what we have for you. One of the things I wanted to kind of show you guys was because Stephen has been begging me all day, and I've actually found the file now. It's not totally finished, but I don't know if many of you know, but Stephen and Monique spent a week with us in Los Angeles and made a short film together. So I want to show you a couple of things of how it came together and where it's at right now. So, without further ado, let me see. There's the finished version. And I wanted to pull up this one. And where's the other one? This one. Okay, hang on. I'm just making sure. Just queuing these up, making sure I got the right ones. Sorry. That and then this one. Okay, so I'm going to show you two clips, okay? You guys ready for this? Fragment scoring, fragment edit. All right. So here's the clips. We did this little picture. We wrote it in like a day and a half. We shot it in a day. Fragment scoring, this is it. All right, this is the first one, right? I'm going to show you three clips. They're all the same thing. I'll pick it up right. Yeah, right here. This will work. Okay. So I won't give you too much backstory other than to say there's this whole genetic warfare, under the surface, government conspiracy kind of thing going on. And this will give you an idea of kind of how it works, okay? So here's the show without any music, without any color correction, without any sound effects, and no visual effects. It's just raw, right out of the camera, cut together in, I don't know, maybe 4 hours, right? The whole thing, you know, didn't take very long to cut. It kind of cut together really well. But it's an action sequence. What do you expect? So this guy walks up, and here's what happens.
Aren't you the least bit concerned?
Well, you can hardly hear him.
I'm sorry. What are you doing down here? Huh? That's just this gig. I just want to spread your story to the world. It's my part. That's supposed to be a threat.
Uh-oh.
Come on, get out of here! Come on!
These guys are fake down here.
Get there! I don't know! You okay?
Okay, just watch, wait for it. All right, so you're getting the idea, right? What this is, how it works. They're getting in their van. All right, now, let's watch that same clip. You have no idea how much planning it takes to even pull that off. All right, let's watch the same clip, only now we've added a little bit of music, and I think we've added a frame on it, but not much else, I don't think. Okay, so here it goes. Start at about the same place. Here we go. Oh, wait. Let's back it up.
Let the community something now. What are you doing down here? That's just this gig. I just want to spread your story to the world.
All right. All right, so you can see what music really does for a property. It's pretty amazing. Now, when you add all that together with a few other fun little elements, let me pull this off the drive. Let me take a second here.
You know Steve is loving all that.
Oh, we haven't even gotten to the fun part for Steve yet. He's seen that before, I think. You got that was what we came away with after the composing bit, right? When we were at Tim Jones's place at the workshop. So I'm just moving over a file from our server here real quick. And I hope it's right. I hope it's right. So almost done.
Kelly must have students leaving because she's saying thank you for your time.
Yeah, I see that. Almost there. So this is after we've added color. We've gone through color. We've gone through visual effects. So we've added a lot of the muzzle flares and bullet hits and things like that. So ricochets off the wall and nonsense generally. But this will give you an idea of kind of the layers, some of the things you have to do in order to make it right. We haven't gone through sound effects all that much. I think we've laid in a few things. We haven't gone through sound, and we haven't gone through Foley yet. And then a final sound mix, of course. So this is sort of the finished thing. Or not finished, but this is where we're at with it anyway. We'll be screening this at Disney for the next workshop, which should be fun. And here it is. Let me scroll in to find. You can see the colors already quite a bit different.
Mm.
Let me scroll in to find where it was, and here we go.
That's about right.
I'm sorry? What are you doing down here, huh? How'd you get up with this gig? I just want to spread your story to the world. Well, you just might. It's might what? You're about to get more than you bargained for. Is that supposed to be a threat? It is. Take the blame for that.
I don't know. You okay? I'm fine. Keep recording.
Okay, calm down.
Hey, I think they shot him, Jake. They shoot me?
I don't know, buddy. I don't think so, all right? You hold, keep it together, all right? Go to a hospital. Hang in there.
Never mind.
Ice her.
Wait, this is kind of fun.
Come on. Go, 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 go.
All right, so you can see it's quite a bit different by the time you start adding in all the layers and all the little pieces. Did you like that, Steve?
He's saying nice there.
I thought that you'd like that.
Yeah,
Okay.
let me just say a shameless plug here. So, Mr. New and I and Miss Steffenhagen, we all took part in filming that last year. They have this workshop every year, every summer for teachers, and it's a week-long endeavor, and it's pretty intense, right?
We keep you guys moving pretty fast. It's 12 to 16 hours a day of just making movies and trying to make it all happen. I think this year our focus is going to be, each year we try and focus on something else. This past year we wanted to focus on stunts and visual effects, which you can see we did quite a bit of. This year we'll be focusing on makeup, but this is more of like a creature makeup. Creature makeup sets, we'll be building a set on a soundstage and lighting it and working on in that environment as opposed to out in the middle of nowhere. Probably at the same movie studio that we did the last one at. They were really nice to us. So we actually really liked those people, and they really liked us, so that was a good match. But anyway, so that's kind of where we're at with what we're doing, and I think we're about done, aren't we? How much time
We
do we
are.
have?
Anybody have any questions from your group there? No? They're just looking. No? No questions? Questions?
Just
How about your group, Miss Stewart? If you have any questions, you can type them in the chat, you know.
Okay, I'm not sure if I'm unmuted or not here. Am I?
Yeah, you're unmuted. You're
Okay,
good.
great. All right. Listen, Darrin, thank you so much for your time, and we really, really feel like we really got to sneak onto the lot today. This
Hey,
is
there
awesome.
you go. Nice plug.
Thank you so much.
You bet. My pleasure. Anybody else? Any questions? That's it? You guys have all written your 3 pages, right? You're done? You're finished? No?
They're all saying thank you. They thoroughly enjoyed it.
Oh, good. Oh, there we go. Hey, they're alive!
There they are.
Yeah. Well, cool. Well, I think that's great. I think we're good. So
Okay. When does the next one start? I know we got one more, right?
we got one more, and let me just double check. I'll resend out. Do you want to take like a? Let's see. It doesn't start till 1:30, I think. Hold on.
How do I get off of this? Because I can't get my picture to work. I loaded a picture. It's not working.
There she goes. I think she figured it out.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me find the. I've had to pull up all kinds of other things, but I would say, do you want to take?
Like 10 minutes, 15 minutes. It looks like it's like 10
Yeah.
minutes away, right?
Let's just do it. I'll put up the coming back, and like I'll change it to 10 minutes instead of 5 minutes. How
Okay,
about?
perfect.
Yeah. Actually, yeah. Let's do 10 minutes, and then I'll see if anybody else is going to sign on, and otherwise, we'll check back in 10 minutes.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. Thanks.
Thank you.
Go back on. Okay, they are out at the moment. Be back online in 10 minutes. We're going to be going, it's video chat. This is a special meeting of Sneak on the Lot. And if you guys, so they can see you, yes. So you can kind of sit in here, and they'll be back in a few minutes.
Oh, I was going to talk to student council about.
About what? Sure.
You go in the booth too.
What's that?
You go in the booth too.
Yeah, I turned the TriCaster on. That's on purpose, so don't shut it off. I do want to, I mean, as many people that could kind of be in to kind of take part and watch this, especially if you weren't here during the day. It's actually really good stuff.
Coming out that way, Phil?
Hey, I talked to Art Tech. What's that?
Are we doing anything special today for Steve?
Yeah, very special.
What?
We're going to be going live with Darrin Fletcher. And tomorrow we'll be live with Chet Thomas.
All the people who started sneaking.
Yeah, these are the people who started it all.
I was like, why is there an announcement for sneaking on how we only do that when something important happens? The announcements, I was like, that's odd. The announcements for sneakers on loud, we only do that when something important happens.
Yeah, well, you know, I'll make them more often if we need them, but people have been showing up, so I haven't worried about it. But this one's going to be really, I mean, it's been awesome all day long. He's had so much good information.
I feel
I'm
bad
hoping.
because of my internships. I cannot show up on time.
Hey, I finally talked to
Miss Merrick?
No, the people, the
BD?
Artec.
Artec?
And I'm probably going to be going there next week to see the shooting down there by the what they're doing there by the lakes. I guess Veronica's been involved in that one. They said they were trying to get you to go down there.
Yeah, I just had to find a ride, and like
Okay,
it has to be like a day. Like when I have B days on Fridays, I can't do it.
Well, it's every Thursday. It's Thursdays, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It should be really good. I'm going to go check it out this coming week. Yes.
Can I stay after today to work on the movie merchandise stuff? Or?
For the, yeah, that should be okay.
Okay.
Well, I'll spin this around for now. We get more people. We'll have them come in.
I just got done doing the Jack the Ripper presentation.
What is this? Oh. You basically set up a you can set up your own broadcast, or you can join someone else's. You can I don't know what the limit is of how many people, but earlier today we had the most we had during one period. I think it was like 7 other schools besides ourselves and Monique and Fletch were on at the same time, and it was really cool. It was very cool. So
YouTube.
They should be coming on here in a minute. So.
We'll be on in a minute.
Oh, sorry.
Oh.
Who that? Who you talking to?
I didn't know you were back.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I'm not sure I ever left.
Okay.
Well, I have a question for you.
Hold on 1 second. Let me just mute. Go ahead. You guys, Steve, you ask him a question. Hold on.
Yeah, it's do you ever take unpaid volunteers to help out with the Sneak on the Lot over the summer?
One of those. That's an interesting idea. We have tried it in the past. We used to do like a contest on the lot, so that and we're going to start it again once we start the 3D lot. But we would do contests on the lot, and depending on if someone did really well in the contest and won the contest, well, we couldn't call them contests. I'm sorry, we had to call them challenges. So that was our way around all this across the state line kind of nonsense. But if they wanted the challenge, then they could come to the workshop and be an intern. Yeah, that's how that used to work.
Nice.
We haven't done it for a little while, actually. Probably 2 years ago, I think, was the last time we did it. It worked well. When we first started with the workshops, well, when we first started with the lot, we made it so the people who won each area, so cinematography, directing, or whatever, they would come to the workshop and they would do at the workshop what they won for.
Nice.
And it was a disaster. It was so bad. We did it once, and we won't do it again. It was bad. So having an assistant, having someone there to sort of be there behind the scenes and everything, that worked really well. And we would do that again in a second. We just don't have a challenge. We don't have a contest to put it up there and see, what people think. So we should do it again, though. This summer should be a lot of fun, actually. This summer's workshop. For those of you, are your classes already started?
Well, I actually have some. It's not a class. This is the club. So they're kind of.
Oh, these are the guys I talked to before, right?
Yeah, a lot of them are here.
Yeah. Okay. So, so the workshop this year we're going to be focusing on creature makeup. So I'm actually pretty excited about that creature makeup, and
just before the event, grab the camera.
We're going to be dressing some people up like the Mummy. There's going to be a guy that looks like Frankenstein, and then there's going to be a guy that looks like Wolfman, and then Dracula. So it's kind of like Dracula and his best buddies. It's a comedy that we're going to be doing, just a quick piece of, about a vampire who's been alive for like 1,000 years, and he's bored. He's sick of living forever, and he doesn't want to. Because we wanted to make the anti-vampire movie, because we don't like vampire movies. Sorry, if you're a Twilight fan. Sorry about that. But vampire movies, they always seem so stupid to me because, like, I think it's only young people that want to live forever. Like, once you get to a certain age, it's like, yeah, I'm kind of bored. I'm ready to move on. Like, next, what happens after this? I want to find out what happens after this. It's like, it'd be like reading a book, right? It'd be like reading a book to the last chapter and then putting it down. Like, forever, right? I'm going to do that forever. Like, that doesn't sound interesting to me at all. So we wrote a story about, and so in all these vampire movies like Twilight and stuff, everyone wanted to be bitten so that they could live forever in this blissful blah. It was garbage. So we decided to write a movie about a vampire who was totally bored of living forever and was just looking for a way out. Like, how do I get rid of this? Like, so it's actually a romantic comedy. It turned into a romantic comedy about this vampire who lives with his best buddies at Dracula's castle, and his best buddies are all these other guys who live forever: Frankenstein, the Mummy, and Wolfman. And so it's completely ridiculous and silly. Very much a teenage sort of a comedy romance, but once a year, they get to go out into normal society. Where they can't usually venture because obviously they look so strange. But it's Halloween. So one day a year they get to go out and look like normal people because all the normal people look like them. And they decide, they convince Dracula, the vampire kid, to go to an amusement park. So most of the movie takes place in an amusement park and Dracula's castle. Those are really the two locations. So they go to an amusement park. He ends up falling in love that night with this gal at the amusement park, but he ends up leaving because everyone finds out he's a vampire. No one likes him, and he lives forever. So he's just gonna have to watch her grow old and die, and he doesn't want to do that anyway. So turns out that, do you ever see Splash?
Yeah.
So the teachers will have seen Splash. It's really the structure of the story is like Splash, right? Remember how she hides being a mermaid for half the show, and there's this crazy doctor who's running around trying to expose her as a mermaid. If you remember the show, you guys have never seen this movie?
I've seen it.
All right, this is your homework for tonight. Go and watch Splash. Okay. It's a Ron Howard movie. It has Tom Hanks in it. You're going to love it. It's a good movie. John Candy. And eventually, they're out in the open. They're out in the public. And this doctor manages to successfully throw water on her, which she then turns into a mermaid in the middle of Manhattan, like right on the sidewalk.
It's a fun movie.
It's a great movie. And that's kind of what happens to this vampire, only it's Van Helsing who's the janitor of the amusement park. Eventually, the janitor figures out that, you know what, this guy wasn't such a bad guy. I need to reunite these two. I've made a mistake. So he helps the girl find a way for the vampire to become mortal again. And it's really quite simple. They then have to chase down the vampire who's climbed to the top of his tower in his castle, and he's waiting for the sunrise to come to kill him. And as the sun rises, she eventually makes it there. They've found a way to turn him back into a mortal, and she climbs treacherously to the top of the tower with him. And in the moment when he's about to die and they're going to kiss as the sun rises, she flips his head over and bites him. So to become mortal, the vampire has to be bit by a mortal person.
I love it.
It's totally silly. It's totally stupid. But obviously they fall in love and they have a family and, you know, they grow old together and that's what life was supposed to be all about.
Nice.
That's kind of...
Hey, that's a nice twist.
Yeah.
I would love to be a part of that. Oh my gosh.
So this summer's workshop,
Go,
we're going to be
Steve.
taking a scene
Go,
out of
Steve.
that.
So wait, if the werewolf fights the vampires, it'll be a wolf werewolf.
Oh, Monique, you're no fun.
Right. So if you can imagine, the gang is kind of like this won't ring a bell for you guys, but it's like Happy Days, right? Modern day, but the gang of guys is kind of like there's the Fonz, there's the Ralph Malph, there's that kind of thing, right? So all these characters, the Wolfman is this ladies' man. He's got a big beard, and it would work really well today, right now, with all the beard thing going on. But yeah. And then the mummy never says anything. The whole movie, he's just silent.
I would assume because he would have.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, it's a fun little story. So we'll be building a set. I don't know what it's going to be yet, if it's going to be Dracula's castle or whatever, but we'll be building a set and doing a couple of scenes out of that story. I wish we could shoot it in an amusement park, but I doubt in California there's one that would let us do that. Maybe there is. It's hard. We scheduled it once. We were going to shoot it once. We had the money, and it fell apart at the last minute, but we had the amusement park and everything, and it just so happened at this particular amusement park, we were going to shoot in October, right, during Halloween, and it just so happened that at that very day, on Halloween, everyone is supposed to, in reality, is supposed to come dressed up, right? Which we thought was fun because our guys look like they just fit right in. You know, so we were going to shoot a lot of pieces in and around the holiday season of Halloween because that's when everybody just kind of showed up to this amusement park dressed like that already. So it's like having all your extras having gone through wardrobe before you even show up. But yeah, we still like that script. It's called A Vampire's Guide to Mortality is what it's called. I don't know that that's the greatest title, though. I think we just kind of said, hey, that sounds good. Let's go with that for now. But the script is all done. It's all written and everything. I'd love to do that little show. I think people would really enjoy that little show.
Well, if you wind up doing that challenge, I'm going to do everything I can to beat that challenge.
Yeah. I don't even know what the challenge would be. Maybe it's a makeup challenge.
Oh.
We haven't done those yet before.
I can't do that.
Oh, I'll take that one on.
Take that. You're going to do some Stan Winston makeup for like a mummy or a... You pick Frankenstein, the Mummy, Wolfman, or Dracula. And you have to do makeup for one of them.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know what the contest would be. Right now, we're like up to our eyeballs in the release of this film, so which is coming out like really fast, May 16th. It doesn't sound like really fast, but it's really fast. So we're just trying to get all the theaters, all their stuff, all the posters, all the trailers. The trailers have to be cut in 15s and 10s and 30s and 60s and 2 minutes and other. So there's just all sorts of stuff that has to be made when you're getting ready to release a movie. So we're just almost to the tail end of that, and then I can start focusing on what we're going to do for the workshop.
So with the release of the movie, like what kind of package do they need to do? What are the process? Obviously, you shoot the movie, you put it together. Then what kind of package do you have to have ready to go?
So in a movie, I actually have one. So in a movie, you got to make. First of all, you got to decide what your market is, right? So who's your marketplace? Are you looking for let's say the superhero crowd? Are you looking for the more Oscar-oriented crowd? What is exactly that you're looking for, right? Because it's going to change the date of when you release your film, right? So if you have a big summer blockbuster that's going to compete against, Iron Man or Captain America or something like that, you know when you're going to release. You know what you're up against. If I was going to do this film, I would probably release it around Valentine's Day or, more likely, Halloween. So I would know, okay, I'm looking at a October release, which is that would be a really interesting release, to be honest with you, because there's not many romantic comedies that come out. They come out during Valentine's Day, typically. So releasing a film like that could do really well because nothing is coming out except for Oscar winners in October. August, September, October are all Oscar nominee entries. So you probably could do really well with that little movie in the theater, to be honest with you. I never thought about it until just now, but that would be a good idea. So you need a bunch of these, right? This is a special kind of hard drive case, and inside of this hard drive, I don't know if you can see it, right? You can see that? So it's got a title and a little hinge pin that clips into a certain kind of carriage. And you can see how you slide it in and it just automatically connects to certain things. And so what you do is you take this and you slide it into the machine. It's a digital projector, right? At the movie house. And it plays off of this. This is called a DCP, a digital cinema print. So you need a DCP. Now DCPs are not cheap. They are about $5,000 each. Okay, this is why it costs so much money to deliver a movie to the theater. So how many are you going to do? You're going to release in 1,000 theaters? Well, that's $1,000, or that's 1,000 times 5,000, right? $250,000. So, luckily, this company, Deluxe, right, is just, I can throw a rock and hit their back door, and my good friend over there, Joe Hart, happens to be the head of worldwide digital distribution. And so he's giving us all the DCPs for free. So I got to have DCPs. I got to have 5. We're probably going to try and get to the point where we're releasing 5,000 theaters across the country with this film. So that's 5,000 DCPs that need to be made. Somebody's got to ship those. Somebody's got to get those out. So Joe is going to handle that, Deluxe. And Technicolor will handle that for us. So you got to get the product to the market. And the market is the theaters, right? So 5,000 of those drives have to be made and shipped out all over the country with keys, meaning that there's protective keys. You have to have a key. Every theater has to have a particular key to fit the DCP that they have. If they don't have it, they can't show it. It just protects your IP. It protects your show from getting stolen. So you got to have that. Then you have to have a poster. And the poster has to be print-worthy, so 300 dots per inch. I think it's like 36 by 42 or something like that. You got to have a poster, and then you have to have digital posters. You have to have a digital version of that. Then you have to have a press kit. So a press kit is like behind-the-scenes photographs, stories from the directors, what is the synopsis of the film, anything that press might want to use. It would have copies of the trailers, 2-minute trailers, 30-second trailers, 10-second trailers, 15-second trailers, 30-second trailers, 60-second trailers, and a 2-minute trailer. So you have to cut all sorts of different trailers. So all of this gets rolled up into a big package. And then you have to have swag, right? So, like, I just got some in today. So here's some swag for our film that just came in from FedEx. It's these dumb little wristbands, right? But since we're doing a cause, you guys will see the trailer here in a second, so it'll make more sense. But it's cause-based. What is this? See that? Rescue 2M. And on this side is the name of the show, The Abolitionists.
Oh, that's cool.
Right? So everybody wears these little wristbands to signify how cool they are and how much they support you, blah, blah, blah. Then we have shirts. You have to print up all this swag. So I think I've spent about maybe $25,000 on swag. So here's a shirt from the show, The Abolitionists, with our Rescue 2M, which is the name of our cause that we're doing. Hashtag Rescue 2M. 2 million children trapped in child sex slavery. Rescue them. So that's what we're all about.
Nice logo. I like the M. That's nicely done.
It's cool, with the kids. I don't know if you can really see that, but yeah.
It's good.
Then we have...
it's quite an undertaking. So it's not just shooting a film and getting it released. There's a lot more involved with that, huh?
I'd show you other stuff. So there's our poster. I think I can actually show you some stuff, actually. Do you want to see any of it? I can show you some stuff that we've built for it. Let me throw together a quick thing.
Remember, PG friendly.
Oh yeah. This is just print material, so this is stuff that would be in the.
Yeah, and then when you're done, this group here, they haven't had your script. Your script, I don't think so. Let me just ask. Okay. Yeah, that was really.
You know what? Oh, I should have been doing this since the beginning. I'm so stupid. Okay. All right. So one of the things. I'll get to this in a second. Doggone it. I should have been doing this the whole time. I'm so dumb.
Come on now.
You guys can totally push this though in your classrooms because this is going to be great. Okay, so there's a step and repeat, right? Do you guys know what a step and repeat is? Yes, no, probably not.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear it. It was a little loud here.
A step and repeat. Do you know what a step and repeat is?
No, Steve and I both say we're not sure.
Okay, so I'm throwing together a quick little montage of items. That will be helpful. I'll throw that in there. There's the step and repeat. Stickers. Will it do AIs? Oh my gosh, it will. That is awesome. Teddy bear heroes. There's so much. It's crazy. Let's see. Abolitionists. So there's different kinds of posters.
Well, while you're looking, can you talk about why you said earlier that this was one of the projects you think you like the most that you've ever been involved in?
Well, I mean, look, when we're making movies, you get to make some stuff that you're super, super proud of, and other stuff that just pays the bills. I mean, you know, to be honest, we'll put it that way. We'll put it in a nice way. You're not necessarily proud of it, but it's stuff that, you know, your family's got to eat, so you got to do it. So I'm just going to show you just some of the things that you got to do to make it so people know what's going on, right? So let me see. I don't want to give away too much. Mark Stott, Michael Hart. Okay, so we'll put this one in there. Okay, so I'll share this screen with you guys. Let's see where you guys are. Okay. So I'll share this screen with you, and then you can see kind of what I put together here. So there's a lot you got to put together for a movie, right? So there's a step and repeat. Now, anytime you're going to do a premiere, you need to print up something so that when people are walking past it, it says what your movie is all about. Does that make sense? Let me see if I can. On our website, you can see these. Maybe I'll just pull up a new page. Go to our website, you can see it. So there's so much you have to do. SQ2M.com. Did I just get muted? No, that was somebody else. Okay. All right. So here's my website. Let me share the screen so you can see it. All right. So here's the website for the movie. So this is another thing that you got to make. You got to make a website, you know. You got to tell people what your movie's about. We have a brilliant web team who's put some amazing stuff together. So you got to be able to buy tickets. You got to tell people what your movie's about. You got to be able to watch the trailer. On our movie, it's called The Abolitionists. I'll show you the trailer in just a minute. And we actually did rescue children from child sex slavery. So we rescued 57 children and put 7 people in prison just with the making of this film. Over the last two years, we've rescued over 450 children and put 139 people in prison. But you got to tell people what it's about. So here's what the movie's about, right? And little images and stuff like that. You need some factoids. You don't necessarily need these, but these are compelling factoids about trafficking. The average age of a child trafficked is 13 years old in America. Human trafficking is the fastest growing international crime. People don't know these things. Now, here's what I want to show you. So here's the step and repeat. This was last night from a screening we did. See the step and repeat behind him? So now, it's not just a photograph of a bunch of people in the middle of nowhere. Everybody knows. This photograph is going to get shared all over social media, and it has Rescue2M on it. So anything you want to do with us, hashtag Rescue2M shows up on our website, right? It has our Fletcher logo because we're the production company. It has the name of the show. And you can put anything you want up there. But when people take pictures, and so much of making movies now is social media. So when people take pictures, they post them all over the place. Well, when they post them, you want your brand out there with it, right? And that's what this is all about. So and then tell us about yourself. So here's the abolitionists. Here's Jerry Mullen. This is my partner. Academy Award-winning producer of Schindler's List, Jurassic Park, Minority Report, Hook, Rain Man, Tootsie, Days of Thunder, The Color Purple, blah, 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 right? Amazing producer. And here's Chet Thomas. You'll be hearing from him tomorrow. and his background. Here's mine and my background. And then Tim Ballard, this is the guy who's part of our team that we follow and stars in the show. And then you. This is a movement. I need people to help us, right? To help us become abolitionists, to help us stop this problem. So there's all sorts of other areas you can go into in the site. All I did, and so there's a thing for press. You can buy swag from us. I wonder if that's up. Is that up yet? Hey, it is. Awesome. Okay, so you can buy swag from us. You can buy bags and shirts. This is what the shirts look like. You have Lincoln on them. It's really quite cool. Men's apparel, women's apparel. You can buy all sorts of things. Right? Anyway. Okay, so these are just some of the things that you got to have in order to tell your people about your movie. You need Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Google+, Instagram. You need to have all your social media outlets. So we've hired a company to do all that for us, who's awesome. So you need some descriptions about, like, here's a story about Jerry Mullen, who writes this story about Harriet Beecher Stowe and how she wrote Uncle Tom's Cabin when she first crossed the river to saw slavery in 1852. For the first time, saw how ugly it really was. She had never seen it before. She came back and she told her sister in a letter, "I can't sit idly by and do nothing anymore. I have to write. I can and will." And she wrote Uncle Tom's Cabin, which sold 19 million copies in her lifetime. That's an unheard of sum of copies of this book. And so the governments didn't do anything to stop slavery. When Abraham Lincoln met this little woman, he knelt down and he shook her hand and he said, "I got to meet the little old lady who started this war." Because in truth, it was stories from the people who started the Civil War. It wasn't the governments. The people stood up and said, "No more. Enough is enough. I won't have this anymore." It was people like Frederick Douglass and people like Harriet Beecher Stowe telling stories. It wasn't the government. That's what started it. And so that's what we're doing. We're telling stories. Harriet Beecher Stowe used a pen and paper. We're using, the screen. And so that's our hope. But then you have things that you just, like stickers, you got to stick on stuff, and different kinds of posters, right? So these are different kinds of posters for billboards and things like that. So we'll also have a text for those of you who actually are interested in getting in participating. We actually have a number, so you can text rescue to 41487. So that you can get updates on the show and what you can do and how you can participate and all that kind of stuff. So if you want, text rescue right now, 41487. It'll ask you for your email, and then that's it. Then listen for the next thing, because we'll be telling you what's coming up and where it's coming and all that kind of stuff. So in addition to all this, we knew it's a hard subject. It's not something everybody wants to see. And so, I'm not even sharing that screen with you. I should share that. Hang on a second. Then you can see it all. Here we go. All right. See, so there's the step and repeat, right? So you take pictures in front of that so that, people see all your logos. When it goes sharing over social media, boom, everybody sees that it's Rescue 2M, it's at the screening for the abolitionists, blah, blah, blah. There's Jerry's story that he wrote. There's the poster, not the poster, that's the stickers we made up. Here's like the different size posters for billboards and things like that. There's our text rescue to 41487. And then here's the movie poster. Oh man, that's really big. Let me see if I can shrink that down for you. So there's the movie poster. Oh, that's not going to work. Right? Does that work?
Yeah.
So that's the movie poster. You got logos to do. So here's the Todd Tuller, our CEO at Fletcher. And here's the back side of his card. And you have big pull-out banners, the little pop-up banners that you pull out. I don't know if you've seen those at trade shows and stuff. So you got lots of printing to do. We knew this was a tough subject, so one of the things we wanted to do was we created a game, believe it or not. It's a Max 3 game where 20% of all the proceeds go to rescue and rehabilitate children who have been rescued. So we're hoping that this takes off. It's up to 50% of all the proceeds. There's going to be bears you can buy at Walmart. We're making up 2 million bears. So each one symbolizes a child that's been rescued when you buy it. And then you have different versions of that you have to put together, right? So here's Teddy Bear Heroes. This is what the game looks like. It launches April 1st if you're interested. You can get it on Android and iOS April 1st. It's coming. So that's going to be fun too. So there's lots of stuff. There's a book that we're doing. There's a children's book that we're doing. There's another book that Chet and I are writing that Simon Schuster's publishing about the making of the movie and how we did it and some of the things that happened to us along the way. And so, yeah, there's a lot to do for the release of a movie. It sounds like nothing. It sounds like, oh, you just put it out there, but you have to support it, you know. So, and that support it costs money. It costs a lot of money.
So the beginning of the movie is a script. This group here didn't get your whole script thing, Aaron.
Yeah. So the beginning of any movie starts with a script. Now, the one we just finished, it was a documentary, so it didn't have a script. But here's my scripts. I got to get them organized after I threw them out the window. Okay. So a script is typically about 115 to 110 pages. I have these on my desk. These are the 4 I still need to read. I've read one of them. I haven't read the other 3, and I won't be reading the other 3, and I'll show you why. So there's a format for screenwriting, and if it's not the right format, it usually gets thrown out, right? Because it's not worth my time. I already know you suck as a screenwriter if your format isn't even right yet. So number 1 is this, right? Spiral bound. No one spiral bounds their screenplays, right? Never, ever. That's just a waste of time. It's a waste of money. And more importantly, how do I replace pages? Let's say I want to rewrite one page, but I don't want to print up the whole script again. Well, I can't. You bound it. I can't put a page in. I can tear one out, but I can't put one in. That's a waste of my time. Number 2, I look at the page count. This one has 122 pages. It's a little long, but I'm also looking at the font, and I know if they did it in the right font, this thing would be about 170 pages. Okay, so you're trying to cheat me. I'm going to read 120 pages. That's actually 160 or 150 pages script, and I can tell because I've read so many of these that don't try and fool them. Okay, bad idea. They've seen so many scripts. But he's got 4, I don't know if you can see that, close. He's got 4 different fonts on this. Yeah. Okay? He's got his headings are a different font from his action lines, or a different font from his character names, or a different font from his parentheticals, and a different font for his dialogue. Come on. Like, seriously? You don't know what you're doing. You're spending more time changing fonts than you are writing. Forget this. This is garbage. And because it's not in the right format, it's bound. It has some silly cover on the front of it with a picture and after the songs. Kind of a dumb title, but okay, whatever. It doesn't have a title, a proper title page. This is garbage. This guy doesn't know how to write. I'm done. I'm not going to read it. Same with the second one. Look, bound again. I'm not going to read it because I already know it stinks. You don't even know how to format your screenplay. So make sure the format's right, okay? Here's one that has like it's like a, this is a great example because I've never had a stack of scripts that were so bad, all of them at once, formatted so incorrectly. This is like a great smattering of the worst kind of mistakes you can make. So it's got some weird vellum, sort of plastic frosted title page. Get rid of that. Don't need it. Terrible binding again, that spiral binding. The cover page is like parchment, right? Awful. Okay, just white papers does just fine. But then this person writes, I don't know if you can see this, but if you know screenwriting, this is absolutely a novel. This is not a screenplay. Every page is like this. There's no dialogue. There's no scene headings. There's no scene numbers. There's no parenthetical. There's nothing. This is a novel. Like, what did you give this to me? I'm not a publishing house, right? And it's also epilogue. That's what I needed. 321 pages. Not gonna read it. Done. Next. Look, I'm going through my weekend reading so fast. I have a script. It's not bound. It's not terrible, but so you should always 3-hole punch. Point, point, point. Right? Get some brass. They're brads. What are they called? Are they brads? No, they're not brads. What are they called?
No, they're called brads.
Are they brads with the? You put them
That's
through,
how I know them.
You bend them on the back side.
Yeah.
Give me 2 of them, not 3. 2 of them. 1, 2. That's how you do a screenplay. Then, if I change one scene, I can put up that one page, slide it in. I've saved all that paper and only printed off one. I pull the brads out, I put the page in, I put the brads back, I'm done. New script, done. Right? That's why you do it. Okay. This guy formatted it totally right. I can look at it, I can already see he knows what he's doing, right? He's used a professional piece of software. You can see the formatting. It has scene headings. Let me see if one. Well, there's not one on that page. Of course there wasn't. Let's find one so you can see it. Okay. He's actually locked this script. You probably shouldn't lock it as a writer. When you lock a script, it numbers it. See? Puts a number right here and on this side. Both sides, it's going to put a number. Right? Scene 34. Gives you an interior, exterior scene heading, then a description, an action line, drops down, starts dialogue, character's name, all in 12-point Courier. That one's worth reading. And I've actually read it. It's good. It's about Jim Croce. It's a good story. Okay? So make sure your screenplays are in the right format. If they're not in the right format, no one's going to read them. They'll never get past the round basket. Okay? So, moving on, have you guys been using the website? You guys familiar with the site, right? We went through this last time. I think you guys are.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think this group is.
Okay.
I think this group, these are the advanced students there.
Ah,
so
right.
you guys use the sound library, right? And you use the...
Yes, you guys use all that stuff. They're on... in fact, Justin actually is a master on using the stock footage library.
There you go. Good. That's good. I'm glad. I'm glad people are using it. That was something we always wanted to provide. I think later on we'll provide a service by where people can upload their own stock footage if it's good enough, which I've always been excited about. I've always been excited about the idea that students in Paris could do a shot of a girl in a red dress in front of the Eiffel Tower and then hand the footage over to somebody in, Mississippi. And suddenly it's a girl in a red dress looking up and she's just in a park. But I've convinced the whole audience that she's standing in front of the Eiffel Tower. Right?
Yeah.
So this can be done. This kind of collaboration can be done, especially today.
Hey, these guys didn't know about. I don't think. Did he tell you guys about the new app that's coming out where you upload your stuff?
Oh, the new mobile app, right?
Yeah, tell them about that.
This will come out next year. It's an app we're developing, and our developers are the same guys who developed that game. It's in Teddy Bear Heroes. I love this game. Here, I'll show you what it looks like. It's completely addicting, and don't get started or you won't stop. But it's just like Candy Crush, right? Except the music is completely addicting. And so you match things up. Let's see. Here. See if I can't do this backwards. This is bizarre. How do I do this backwards? Okay, retry it. Ah, hey, there we go. Okay, so that sort of worked. Okay, so that's what this game is, and our same developers are developing a new game, and it will be gamified, but you'll actually, through the game, you'll be making a movie. So your assignments won't be, hey, go shoot this and cut it in your movie and tell me when you're done, or fill out a piece of paper. The assignment will be, go show me how three-point lighting works. And you'll have to light a scene in three-point lighting and just show it to me. Film it. It's a 15-second Instagram thing. Here's my key light, here's my fill light, here's my bounce light or rim light, and I'm done. Thank you. Boom. Now you upload that to the app, and everybody goes, oh, that's cool. You can share it with your friends. You can share it with everybody else. Hey, so-and-so, Johnny just finished, you know, three-point lighting assignment. Check it out. And everybody goes, hey, you know, keep going, man. By the time you're done, you've actually made a movie. But that's kind of what we're working on as far as our curriculum. That's what's coming next for our curriculum. I think you guys saw a really early rendition of the 3D game, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I see some nodding heads.
They did see an early version of it.
Let me show you kind of where it's at now. It's kind of a lot more sophisticated than it was. I have to share my desktop this way. Here we go. So this is where it's at now. And I put our little company button down. And here we go. All right. So this is kind of what it looks like now. You can be a little boy as well, and you can change your character and give him, you know, 100 pounds heavier and big muscles or whatever you want to do. But it's a massive multiplayer online game. You're going to sneak onto Fletcher Entertainment Studios. We'll sneak past this guard here because he'll stop you and throw you out if you don't know how to sneak on. And then you can pick up prestige just by running around and picking it up now, as opposed to you have to earn it on the other lot. So this is, I'm picking up prestige. Let me pull up my stats here so you can see your energy bar and stuff like that. There's also a lot of AI people just walking around. You can actually talk to them, and they're like the instructors on the lot. So there's grips and electricians and all sorts of people, and they talk to you and teach you things and tell you to do certain things. So you're actually learning how to make movies and making movies by just listening to these people tell you about things. You can also drive the carts around, which in the 2D version it's okay. In the 3D version, it's a whole other experience. So, oh, get out of the way, fireman! All right. So it's a whole other experience on a three-dimensional lot. A little power slide here. All right. So once you crash enough, I guess, on the lot, let me see if I can get a battery charge my solver. There we go. So, oh, not the easiest thing to drive. Oh. Oh. All right. So again, damn. You can kind of see it's a little bent on the side there. Let's see if I can damage it anymore. I'll wrap it around the corner and stuff. Oh, there we go. And now I'm really beat up. But if you know how to fix them, there we go. Slowly. All right. So you can get out, you can run around. You're going to upgrade your carts, give them faster motors, better tires, better grip, better handling, louder exhaust, anything you want. And then we've allowed students to actually you can rent poster space with your prestige. Oh, look at that. There's the abolitionist right there. And those actually take you, right now, they'll take you to watch the trailers, their respective trailers. So you can go inside these buildings, you can talk to these guys, you can see that that guy's active. You can talk to him. He actually has my voice now. But then you still find all the music, sound effects buildings, stock footage buildings, interviews. This is where the theater is, where you watch everybody's movies. That's all still there. There's quite a bit. I mean, it's a whole different world that you're playing in at this level. And you have an office. These will be your offices where you can go inside. And just like you can on the current lot, but these are your offices. You go up the stairs, all that other stuff. So there's a lot more going into this version. And it's a lot further down the road. So that is where the 3D game is at. Let's see, what else?
Do you guys have any questions for him?
I want to show him some of the stuff that you guys did over the workshop.
Oh, you want to show them that? Yeah, I'm sure Steve won't mind you showing that.
You like showing that? Is it stuttering on your guys' end, or is it actually?
Yeah, it's stuttering a bit.
It's a little glitchy, yeah.
Okay, let me see if I can't turn down maybe the quality. See if we can get a little better quality out of it. Oh, look at this. Is that pretty bad? Is that smooth? Is it smoother, but worse picture?
That's pretty bad.
Is it really?
Worse picture, but how does your desktop play then? Because you were going to show the movie, is that what you were going to do?
Yeah, I was going to show the movie, which has a lot of motion, so probably hating it. But I can put this at medium, and maybe that'll help. Does it help? Hello, is the motion still bad?
Yeah, it's pixelated, but it's not stuttering as much, but it's pixelated. What do you guys think?
Let me see how. Let's see if I can get this.
Yeah, they're saying okay. They're like, whatever. Yeah, sure. Let's just see something.
All right, so here's the cut of the workshop. I'll just play it through from like here. And it all starts to go a little crazy. Okay. To Perk Flip, it's kind of a covert, undercover conspiracy theory government kind of thing going on, right? And these homeless guys are sort of agents of the rebellion who have figured out what's going to happen and where it's going to happen. So, without further ado, it's a little confusing because I'm catching you right in the middle of a action scene. But I want to show you the difference between color and effects and sound and music, and then nothing. So you're going to watch nothing first. This is what it looks like.
That's supposed to be a threat. Come on! Get that! I don't know. You okay? Ready? Okay. Come on.
Right? Okay. So that's the version that is what you saw. I mean, what you saw is what you get. That's what we shot. That's what it is. There's no sound effects. There's no sweetening. There's no nothing. So then we take it in, and we're going to do a little magic to it. We're going to turn it into 235, which is what we wanted in the first place. Oh, hang on. He's still walking around on that. Here we go. Okay. So we'll pick it up from the same position, show you kind of what it looks like with a little bit of pizzazz to it. Here it goes. This is with music. And some sound effects.
I don't know. You okay?
Okay. So that gives you an idea what music can do, right? All we did was put these black bars, which made it 2, 3, 5, not 16 by 9, so it made it a little more cinematic. And then added some music. That's it. That's all we did. So now for the last one, I want to show you a color and some sound effects. Some things that got a little wonky on here I'm looking at, but it's okay. It's a good start. Some visual effects, some color. See now the color, totally different than what it was. Color, sound effects, visual effects, and some sound. Here we go.
I don't know. You okay? I'm fine. Keep recording. Okay, calm down. Hey, I think they shot me, Jake. They shoot me? I don't know, buddy. I don't think so, all right? You hold, keep it together, all right? Go to a hospital. Hang in there.
Never mind.
Ice. God, shit. Come on. Go, 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 go. Go, go. Who are those guys? What's going on?
All right, enough. Sorry, Steve. I'm cutting you off. You're like a drug addict, man. Never can get it. Okay. So, you can see the difference that happens. Like, you can't judge by some of the footage you get back. Sometimes when you think, oh, this isn't working, you just got to keep massaging it, molding it, because you know what? There's a lot of things you can do in post to make it work, right? So, yeah. So I want to see some of the stuff you guys have made. That's what I want to see. So, Steve, Kimberly, I don't know Kimberly, but I'm going to say Kimberly. Hopefully your class is there. Send me an email with links to maybe some stuff that people have made in your class. I'd love to see it.
Kimberly is my boss.
Oh, well, that's even better. I don't know if she's making movies, but hey, why not? Right?
I was just going to let you know, between now and spring break at the latest, I came up with the idea today. I'm going to be putting together a website to showcase students' work. So I'll share that.
That's a great idea.
You'll be able to see the videos.
Look at their expressions.
Yeah, they're like,
what? That's good. That's good because look, at the end of the day, I wouldn't make movies if I wasn't going to show them to anybody. What would be the point, right? That's what makes this such an excellent educational tool. Because when was the last time you did a math assignment and ran home and went, look at my math assignment? It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. Now with drama, you kind of get that, right? Come see me in the play, because drama club or drama classes are always putting on a play 1 time a year or 2 times a year, whatever. It's very good. That's exactly what it's supposed to do. Athletics, same thing. Come see me play. But with all too many of the other disciplines, what are you supposed to do with it? Like I did the assignment. Well, nobody cares. It's going to go in the garbage. But with film, you can enter it in festivals, you can win money with it, you can publish it, you can put it on the web, you can do all sorts of things with it. So it's just such a fantastic educational tool to teach anything you want. It doesn't matter what it is. If you want to teach people about, well, I mean, I can show you my trailer, right? So we've spent the last 2. Did I already tell you about this film? I did, didn't I? I think I told you about the film that we just finished.
Which one?
Right.
Oh, the Abolitionists. Yeah, yeah.
So we've told you about that film. Now,
yeah.
Why would I make that if we weren't going to try and change the world by people seeing it? There'd be no reason. Why would I want to go put myself in the most horrible places on earth to literally befriend these people who literally you wish they would die and go away? They're just horrible people. They're just not almost human. Why would I subject myself to that if it wasn't to try and show the world that the problem exists, right? If I wanted to do a movie about, let's say, the Holocaust, look at Steven Spielberg, right? A lot of people were saying that the Holocaust never took place. That's been a whole movement for years now. And Steven went and made a movie called Schindler's List that our producer produced, right? It's an amazing film by anybody's account. I would say that's one of the top most important movies of all time that has ever been made. And
can anybody hear me?
Oh, there you are.
Oh, hi. Sorry I misplaced. I have to concur with you. That movie is amazing. It's like one of the top movies on my list, Schindler's List. I can't believe you were involved in that. That's awesome. But I saw it a few years ago.
Yeah.
That movie, I could watch it over and over, but I just had to chime in when you said Schindler's List. That's like one of my top movies. So great work.
I got to clarify. That was not me. That's my partner. My partner is Jerry Mullen, the producer of Schindler's List. So.
Oh, but you're closer, so I'm getting closer. So now I met the partner. And
You don't know anybody famous, trust me. This has not been an introduction to fame, that's for sure.
But it's an amazing movie.
Jerry is an incredible producer, and he produced, Jurassic Park, Hook, Rain Man, Tootsie, Days of Thunder, The Color Purple, Schindler's List, Minority Report. He's an amazing producer, and I'm so proud to call him my partner. I mean, it's just I don't even know how it happened, to be honest with you, but it did, and I'll never be able to repay him. So it's such a great educational tool film. It allows students to step into the shoes of someone that they're not familiar with. In fact, that would be one of my first assignments, is to say, to, let's say, inner city kids in Chicago. Now, their voice is very different from, let's say, I don't know, Olathe, Kansas kid in the middle of the farmlands of Kansas. Different life, completely different life. But what if I said to the kids in Chicago, I want you to make a movie about a young boy in Olathe, Kansas, a farmer, become experts on something. They have to become experts on farming, farm equipment, farm terminology, farm wardrobe, probably farm history. They're going to have to know what the lifestyle is like for a kid like that. And what if I turned around to the kid in Kansas and said, I want you to make a story about a kid, an underprivileged kid in I don't know, in the hood, let's say, right? Well, now that kid's got to take himself out of where he's at and put himself into somebody else's shoes. And I think, especially at anybody's age, but at the age of teenagers, it is supremely important to understand that your life is not how everyone else lives their life, right? If you want to work and play and get along with all these other people in the world, and you will have to, then the way you do that is to have empathy as to someone else's position in life. Not everyone is rich, not everyone is poor, not everyone is religious, not everyone is political, So there's so many different colors, and you get all of them in the film industry. You get every last one of them, and you have to work with all of them. And I actually enjoy that probably. That's one of the biggest things I enjoy about the film industry, is that I get a chance to work alongside of people who aren't just like me. Like, what a boring place to live your life in a world where everyone is just like you are. Like, why would you want that? You know? So what would the stories be that these kids would tell if they were forced to tell the story that was completely outside their own skin? I've spent so much time in Haiti and the Dominican Republic and Colombia this past 2 years. We've been gone more than we've been home. But I have a new appreciation. You go to Haiti, you will get a new appreciation really quick for how good everybody has it in the United States. I don't care how poor you are. You ain't seen poverty till you go to Haiti. And it's sad. It's scary. And it reminds you when you fly home and your wheels touch ground on American soil and you see that American flag again. Wow. Wow. If you think your country's a bad place, you need to go do some traveling. You need to see how other people live. And I just think film has a way of transcending location and place and everything in your life to learn how to do it right. Because if you tell a story about the kid in the inner city of Chicago and you don't know what you're talking about, let me tell you, those kids in any inner cities will watch your film and go, you don't know what the heck you're talking about. You guys are idiots. You don't have any idea how easy it is, how tough it is, what we're up against, anything. So you got to know. You have to become an expert on that subject. So that's one of the reasons I think film is just maybe the best educational tool you could possibly have in your arsenal. Because I can teach you anything by using it. Anything you want. I can push it through film. And kids love film. Who doesn't like watching movies? Now let me tell you, watching them is only half as fun as it is making them. You know? Okay, so you guys know about the website. You know how to use it. You're using it right now. Let me ask you guys questions. Since you've been using it for a while and you guys are master filmmakers now, what are you having problems with? Like, let me answer some questions that maybe, you know, maybe your teachers could even.
Okay. Go ahead.
All right. So, are there like the music libraries? One major problem for us is that it doesn't have as nice of a filter system as we.
As nice as what?
Yeah, I can't hear that either.
Oh.
Get up in here so we can hear you.
As nice of a filter system, like we can't quite filter the songs that we would want as well as we want to.
Right. All right. So let me show you. Where's my screen? Okay. So now searching for music is not an easy thing to do, and literally there's a whole job, and that's all that person's job is to sort through music. Now, I could cut this down to where you had a couple hundred songs, and that would make it really easy. I don't think that's what you're looking for, right? So we have thousands of albums. You can see them all as we scroll through here. I can probably increase my quality here on you too, so let me just do this. Okay. So we have a lot of albums, and the more albums you have, the more songs you have, the harder it is to find what you're looking for. Now, the more you search, the more familiar you'll become with the library, right? So this is like any kind of film, for instance. If you were looking for a certain kind of film, you'd be able to say, oh, you know, it's like that shot in that action movie, what's it called? Captain America, right? And you'd look for that shot, and you'd go, yeah, it's like this, and you'd show the shot, you'd go, yeah, let's do something like that. So this library in your brain works very similar, but you have to be familiar with it. So you got to know what kind of music you want, what genre or style, right? So you're doing an action show, let's say. Now, there's no way for me to put a sorting feature on here that knows what kind of scene you're shooting. Does that make sense? So I can't say, okay, I have, like, here, type in, I need the best action score on the lot, because I don't know what the best is for you. There's a taste, there's a tone. You might like this one, and someone else might like a different one. So it's all very, very subjective. So when you're searching for music, the best thing that I've found is I just listen to a lot of stuff. and it takes time. It does. There's no searching. There's no search feature that's going to give you like the best song for your movie. There just isn't a way to do that. But what you can do is you can start limiting it down. You can say, all right, what's the scene? Well, the scene is, let's say it's a scene in Braveheart, right? So I can see already, I can see a type of music genre here that probably has some stuff that would be found in Braveheart. It's called Celtic, right? Celtic music. So now I've sorted the music by this genre, by Celtic genre. So I know anything I listen to, here's Celtic moods, for instance, okay? So I'm going to listen to Green Fields. I don't know. It's somewhere to start with a Celtic mood, right? Yeah, that's pretty lame. Not interested, right? So I go back here. I'm like, landscape variations in a Celtic way. Let's try this. In a Celtic way, green girl. Let's try this. That's a little soft. Let's see.
Can you sort by multiple fields? Like, could you go Celtic and music style? Or is it just either or? Is there any way to combine the two?
Usually there's not so many. Once you sort by one thing, you've limited it down pretty substantially. And you should. I mean, when a music, what's their title? Supervisor. When a music supervisor sits down to put music to a movie, they will go through hundreds, if not thousands, of albums looking for just the right song. They do exactly the same thing that we're providing you here, except I'm just providing you the music without having to go really searching for through your library for it, right?
Yeah, I actually have to concur with you about getting to know the library. As someone who spent hours and hours editing in television, it was the success that I had in putting the music together came about knowing the library I had to work with.
Right.
So I think just going in there and really becoming familiar with all the albums under a certain genre, and that's really going to be your best bet.
Yeah. I mean, you have to get to know what's there. And it doesn't happen overnight. It's not simple. It's not easy. There's no way to sort of, hey, let's make this really simple and easy for you guys by saying, here, type this in. I'm going to give you the exact song or the exact album. Because there could be one song on 25 different albums they're all really good. And you just got to listen to them. You got to watch your movie, and then you got to listen to it. No, maybe not, but I'm sure this Celtic Souvenir, this is probably the song that's... Alright, that's a little different. That's a little too... not quite there yet, you know. Guitarscapes. Let's see. Brave World. I don't know. Let's try. Right. So you just got to listen to so many songs, and that's just part of making a movie. Honestly, there's no way to give you the best song. Like here's classical, right? So you find kind of, well, it's going to be a classical thing. Let's say Dark Adventure. National Security. This is probably going to be a sort of a spy sound. Okay, that's pretty good. That might be what I'm looking for. But I usually will pull down, when I'm doing a show, we'll go do a music spotting session, and we'll listen to hundreds of songs and circle around things and try and find things that are like what we're looking for. And there's so many songs in here. I mean, there's over 60,000 tracks. Another thing I'll do is oftentimes I'll find certain publishers that I know produce the kind of music that I like. So I know for a fact that this particular publisher, 615, publishes, in my opinion, the best music on the site. And so I can go to the publisher and say 615 tracks. Right? And it'll give me all of the tracks published by 615 Publishing. They produce some of the better music, I think. Out of all the albums, I would start with 615 because I like their stuff better. I just think it sounds more professional. This is another album. Sometimes I'll just start it and leave it on because I laugh. Right? It just makes me happy for some reason. So these guys are doing some of the best work. So oftentimes I'll sort by publisher. I know that a certain publisher produces certain kinds of music, and I'm going to be choosing from that, right? Like some of these I haven't even heard before. But I'll bet, because it's 6:15, it's probably not bad. Yeah, not bad. It's going to put me to sleep. Masters and heard hypnotic, powerful.
Do you guys have another question?
Does that answer your question? Yeah, I want to make sure that I got it for you.
It's kind of nodding, yes.
Kind of nodding. Okay, good.
Okay, there's another one coming up here, I think.
There we go, got it.
Darrin, why can't I access the website through my phone?
Ah, good question. Okay, so that is coming. That's what I was talking to you about earlier. So right now, you have to sort of understand that when we built this site several years ago, you couldn't do what we wanted to do with HTML. It just wasn't possible. So we were forced to use, mostly because we just liked the visual, you know, I mean, you can't do these kinds of things. You couldn't do, for instance, our diagram. You couldn't do these kinds of things with HTML, right? And animate them and have things tie back to each other. And it was much more difficult, right? So you certainly couldn't do these kinds of things with HTML. You couldn't do it. And so we were forced to use a piece of software called Flash, right? You all heard of Flash?
Yeah.
Flash, blah, blah, blah. So in Flash, we were suddenly allowed to do things we couldn't do before. The only problem was that almost immediately after we finished doing it and launching it, Apple came out and said they weren't supporting it, that they weren't going to put it on their iPhones, right? Because iPhones were just coming out. They said, yeah, we're not going to support Flash because there was this big brouhaha between, who was it? It was Adobe and Apple, right? If you remember this.
Mm-hmm.
So Apple, to slap Adobe across the face, said, we're not going to support your Flash products on our phones. Well, what sucked for us was they sold like 1 billion of these things. And so now we're sitting in a place where we've developed the site where we want it, and we feel like it's really good. Not that it couldn't have improvements, but we like where it's going, and it's super easy to use. The only problem is it's not available on mobile. And nowadays, this is where everybody is. Would you agree, guys?
Mm.
Right?
Okay.
So what we're building now is even superior to our website because you'll have it in your pocket. On set, you'll be able to pull up any of the interviews. You'll be able to access any of the content. You'll be able to listen to songs. Anything you want will actually be on your phone. Only all of the assignments will be interactive phone assignments. So you'll actually videotape yourself doing a shot or setting up a light or starting a camera or doing a white balance or to prove that you know what you're doing. You're not going to do a test. You're not going to do paperwork. You're going to show people by using your phone and filming yourself or taking a picture of yourself and then hashtagging it out to the world. And so we are moving towards this in a huge, huge way. And we'll get there. It will be on your phone, I promise you.
Any other questions about the site?
Any other questions, guys?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, what was that?
So, for the game, like every time we would go to get onto the game, we could never access it.
The server was
on our computers.
Oh, you couldn't access it?
Yeah. Like we can get onto some films, but not sneak on the lot.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the school server, I think. The school server?
Yeah. So let me show you how this works. Let's go back to the site.
Yeah, I actually haven't successfully gotten on the game either.
Yeah, on the lot.com. That is because this is our new page. Our last one got hacked, believe it or not, by some people, hackers who were sending emails off of our mail server, which caused us to be blacklisted. Our Sneak on the Lot mail got blacklisted. So we had to dump the whole site and start over. Luckily, it's just a landing page. It's not the actual page where any databases or anything were stored. So you can do the school site or play the game. You click play the game. It takes you here. Now, if you don't get on the lot, it's because your school servers are not supporting the IP address. So it's similar to YouTube. Some schools will allow YouTube in through that certain port, and some shut that port down. So you can't see YouTube. It just depends on your school. And your school has currently shut off the port that allows you into, and this is why. So when I drive on, in case you don't know, a drive-on is what you get when you go to the lot. They give you a little pass, and it's called a drive-on. Okay, so you log in. That's what it looks like. You guys will be able to do this from home. You can do it from home because your home machine more than likely doesn't block the ports that are required.
You know, maybe if you send me which port needs to be opened, I can submit it to the district and ask them to allow access to this game.
Sure. Yeah, we can do that. So this is currently what the game looks like, right? Have you guys seen this? You've seen this, right?
Well, you walked us through. I think this group did.
Yeah. So here's the film challenges, right? Oh, these are the tutorials. It let me in the wrong way. Challenges. There we go. This is what the challenges look like. So this is what we would do to see if there was someone who could win a challenge to make it to the workshop, summer workshop. Okay, so this is how this one works, right? And you can drive golf carts all over the place, just like you can. But it's not nearly as fun. Hey, woo! All right. So this is how this works, and then you can actually cast and crew your movies right on the lot as well. So I've got 7 people that are wanting, that have read a script. Oh, but they haven't submitted their photograph. Okay. So, and this is another thing that we're going to be working on very closely. We're really excited about bringing more of this kind of thing to the 3D lot as well. So you can actually cast your movie. So we have, anyway, that's the reason why. And Monique, I will get you those ports so that you can make that happen.
Yeah, that would be really great.
So we've got a series of books that we just bought. Here's the first one. Yay! Let me get some light on that. Yeah. No, where's the light? There we go. All right. So.
Oh, you're so pixelated. Is that the janitor one?
Yeah, so that's janitors, and then we have Candy Shop Wars. There's 5 janitors books. I think we're buying the rights to another series called Another Fine Myth that has about 19 books in the series, and we're getting ready to produce those, and we're going to be casting the entire movie off of the lot, off of the 3D lot. So we're really excited about what's going to happen with the lot when we start actually hiring people off of the lot to work on the movie. Pretty excited about that. So that's what's coming probably a year away. We've got a lot of development to do on the books and stuff, so it's probably a year away. But we'll be working with the lot, not just from an educational standpoint. At that point, it will be anybody and everybody who wants to jump on the lot can jump on. So you can be a college student, you can be a 50-year-old guy who's just still trying to make a break, and upload your demo tape, and off we go, man. We're going to be doing all of the casting and some of the crewing right off of the lot, which I'm pretty excited about. That's to answer your question, Stephen, from last time. That's where we're going to be pulling all of our interns as well, is off of the lot. So we plan on using that tool and then allowing other people. So if you want to cast from the lot, if you want to write screenplays, if you want to crew up from the lot, anybody will be able to do it. And we're hoping other studios will jump on board and do it with us, to be honest with you. start casting their own movies off of the lot. Because why would I cast only from Hollywood? Are only talented people in Los Angeles? Are there no talented people in Minnesota? Come on. There's talented people everywhere. Let's give them access to possibly being in a movie. You know, maybe the guy's in Zimbabwe. I don't know. Let's get him. Bring him here.
That's awesome. You guys have anything else? Because if not, I think it's time for him to start wrapping up here.
I think they're good. Wow, Fletch, thank you so much.
You bet. You bet. My pleasure.
Yeah, this is great. Thanks.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
I want to see what you've made now, so I'm expecting a couple of emails here.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll be emailing you, and you'll probably get some monster makeup demos from me.
There you go. Awesome. I love it. I love it.
And Monique knows me well enough. It'll probably happen.
I love it.
He will hound you, and then he'll find every person you know to say, hey, can you give this to him?
He knows me. There's no problem. He just has to email me. Just show me the stuff.
My class is cracking up. They've heard the stories about the drone, so Monique, now they know who the face is.
No. It doesn't matter that he knows you, Fletch, because what he does is he's been asking me for 7 months for a drone, and I've had every vendor that we know in common. I've had random admin. I've had random people actually call me or stop by to ask me to buy him a drone. And now he's gotten his yearbook staff to pay for it. But yeah, he's relentless.
I was going to say, could you buy Steve a drone?
No.
Would you just buy him a drone because he won't shut up?
Yeah, I know.
He won't leave me alone.
I know, but he finally is getting his drone, and I did not pay for it.
Well,
I told you one. I've got a really good one here in my office.
Didn't you say that tenacity was part of being in the business? So.
Oh my gosh, yes. That's right. You're using my words against her now. That's awesome.
That's right. Anyway, well, thank you very much. This was a long day that you did not know about until yesterday, and we appreciate you stepping in.
No problem. No problem.
Yeah,
I always like being able to see what the students are doing, and it's been a long time since I've been in the classroom, so it's always fun to kind of see what everybody's doing and feel like there's actually like people listening to you, as opposed to sending out a blog or something. No one ever responds, or it gets a little quiet out there sometimes. You never see anything, and then suddenly 45 films pop up. Hey, watch my movie. Oh, okay. I had no idea he was listening.
That's great. Well, thank you so much. And we'll go ahead and sign. I'm going to stop